fishing, it's in my soul.
Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
See what we have.
All right, Luke is on. We're doing a little live bait fishing here.
Trout.
Yep, live bait. No Slam Shady today, although we have caught some fish on Slam Shady this morning. I've had a lot of people been asking, guys, it's summertime. Please do some live bait tips. So we came out here.
Well, fella.
We caught a bunch of bait, took one cast, and that's a whole separate video. If you haven't seen that, whoop, I'm getting a hit here too. That's a whole separate video. Oh, it's coming right at me.
Trout.
Whoa! Oh! The sucker was coming right at me.
Yeah, and what this will be, this is just how to go out and just have a bunch of action. As you can see, we just started fishing, having some good fun, and it's something that anybody could do. It's not any sort of secret, special, spot. It's all about the type of spot, and the best news is that it works pretty much with any tide. Right now, we have terrible tides. It's pretty much slack, and we'll go through the details, but. Just wanted to highlight that this is just a way to get max fish catching. We do a weekly game plan on max fish catching, and this is what has been working best lately. And long story short,
is what we're using right here, Cody. Whoa! Try to get this guy back in the water real quick. Little chum.
And the whole premise is just the importance of, oh, there we are, I already have something messing with it. The importance, there we are, of just getting out, whoa, this might be a ladyfish or something, but getting out on the outer edges of the channels. That's where just a lot of the fish are. It's getting awfully hot. Oh, there it goes. Quick release. But it's getting awfully hot up on the flats during this middle of the summer, just during the hot months. And so a lot of the fish, they'll just shift to the outer edges. That's where there's gonna be a lot of bait fish. That's where there's gonna be a lot of predators as well. And so we just caught some bait fish, and we're just sitting. We have the outside of the grass flat, probably another 50 yards off, and there's some potholes out here, and these fish are just posted up in these potholes on the outer side of the flat, and they're ready, willing, and able to eat a live bait going over their heads. There we go. I'm on. All right, Joe, watch out.
Oh, this might be a nicer trout. Ah, you got to be kidding me. That's hilarious.
Yeah, real nice one. All right, watch out, dude.
I'm gonna assume that I had a nice trout on and somehow the pinfish scared the trout off. That's hilarious. Well, you wanna save him as bait? We probably have enough bait.
No,
Cody, you wanna come in here and look? See, I'm using a small little J because you wanna match the hook to the size of the bait.
Here's the bait that we're using.
Look how small those little guys are, but man, they work. And this is so easy for the whole family to do. And the beauty of it is, like, you don't have to have a trolling motor here. Right? It kind of helps to have some kind of power pole or something.
My troll motor's not working right now.
We ain't even using it. We got a little anchor pin. That's it. So that's kind of been the trend we've been hearing from a lot of our members and our audience is, guys, it is summer. We're out here with the family. Live bait is plentiful in the summertime. Can you guys do some tips just showing how to go out there? I mean, we're unscripted. This is all live. We're not cutting and editing any of this stuff out. And this is something that anybody can do. I mean, you can see the shore from here. We're not out far.
There we are.
Whoop, I'm getting some hits too. There we go. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, and we don't have we're in a shallow draft boat, but we're in probably 3-4 feet of water.
Oh my goodness.
So this is something that you can pretty much do in any boat. Even offshore boats can just anchor off on the side like this. And again, you might not have, here's another ladyfish, you might not have, trophy catches all the time.
Although before we went live, I had a over 20-inch trout, which is great for the Tampa Bay area. It was the very first cast I did on this. And unfortunately, I was not mic'd up or even ready for it.
I got 2 baits in there.
Sometimes that happens.
And so a lot of this is all about keeping your baits fresh. And so if you've noticed, I don't leave the top of the well open because the sun shining in can just make it a little bit hotter, and that's just going to kill the fish. It needs to be as cool as possible. And so try to mess with them as little as possible. So we have a ton of bait, so I just pulled out 2 or 3, let Joe get 1, and then the ones we don't use, we just throw in the water. So as a chummer.
Hook them quick, get them in the water quick. Because they don't last very long. And you guys can see, I'm already getting hit right now.
Yeah, me too.
Are you using a circle or a J?
I'm using a J.
God dang.
Ooh, yeah, this might be a catfish. So
I think that's what I had earlier. Because I had something take me down.
Big old catfish.
Too bad Hollywood's not here with us.
Yeah, the problem with this type of fishing is that you catch a lot of fish. You catch catfish. But you catch a little bit of everything out there. Basically, whatever's in the water is going to eat these live baits.
Although kids love catfish.
Yep. All right, so just see how he's not hooked very deep. So I'll show you how to unhook these guys. So if you don't, for those who don't know, saltwater catfish are probably one of the most dangerous fish. That they have the three big spines on them, and if they get you, it's bad news. It's I can't remember if it's venom or poison. I guess it's poison. Either way, it's nasty. You don't want to get spined
venom.
by them.
Poison would mean that you would eat it and be poisonous.
Yeah. Okay. So it has some venom, and they're super sharp. So what I do, I like to just tire them out a little bit. I like to hold on to the hook, and then I'll rearrange. I get underneath and grab them. There you are. So the spines that are dangerous, number 1, number 2, number 3. These are rock hard. Oh, Joe's hooked up.
I think it might be a catfish too. It's fighting like one.
So these things are rock hard, and obviously if you hit them from the side is no problem, but if you go from the top down, bad news. So once you hold them like this, they can't get you. So hold them like this. Gravity is forcing them down. Oh, another catfish. Gravity's forcing them down, and now I just unhook them. Good to go. And then I just pop them out. No problem at all. In my opinion, that's the safest way to do it. What I recommend not doing is holding onto the hook and flinging it around, because sometimes when it comes off, it'll fling right onto your hand, and now you're pinned, and it's not going to feel good. So easiest way is just to grab them, and it'll be good to go. So let's
Don't film me, Cody. I do it the wrong way because I do not even like touching these nasty guys.
Yeah. So that way, I call it the sissy way, and that's going to increase the odds of you actually getting pinned by them. So we'll go out and get another bait out. As far as hooking these bait fish.
See, Cody, that's how you do it. Even got my bait back.
It's not, there's a lot of ways to do it. What I like to do when just free lining is go right through the top. Cody, if you can zoom in and I'll give you a good angle. Oh, there's a little, I'll do it, then I can show it to you. So right under that top, there's a little hard piece, and there's a little slit where the hook can go, and they will stay alive for a really long time. And they look natural in the water, especially if there's current.
And notice that we have no weights at all, no corks, no popping corks, nothing crazy. This is, are you using 30-pound leader?
Yeah, I got 30-pound leader.
Yeah, I got a 30-pound leader on as well. And I don't even know what size hook it is. It's super small because, once again, this was a mistake that we made forever. We used to try to have these big hooks saying, man, we're going after monster fish, and you always got to do hooks.
Live well closed, bro.
Hook size to the size of your bait.
Oh, just missed something.
These guys out of here.
Yeah, so all this has happened in just one spot. So we're in again, these edge of the channels, a lot of the fish are moving back and forth. Something just robbed me. And so this is a situation where you can just anchor the boat down and just catch a bunch of fish all from one spot. All right, Joe.
So much fun.
You got to pick a new spot.
Well, there's only so many areas to fish in the back. We have to throw Cody overboard, our camera guy. And it's like the second it hits the water, I'm already getting some hits or small hits. Already might have lost my bait already. Yep.
And so out here we have a shot of a lot of species. We can get some Spanish mackerel coming into play, cobia, tarpon cruise these flats every so often on the outside. So you just really never know what it's going to be. That's why we do a 30-pound.
And you will be shocked at what this little hook can catch, right? As my good one says, let me put this in your lip and I'll show you how I catch a human being. It is amazing. Obviously, you need to have the right rig in terms of your leader and braid and obviously right rod and everything, but you'd be shocked. I mean, you can land a tarpon or a big cobia, a monster redfish on this exact same rig.
That was pretty funny. So I just missed a fish, and I was reeling in just the hook real fast. Joe, hit you one of those too?
Oh, I'm gonna go pinfish.
I was reeling just the hook, and a ladyfish was chasing the bare hook. These fish are fired up back there.
Is there any? So earlier, see this, Cody? Got my beautiful Danco, what are these called? The Premios.
Premio.
And all of a sudden this thing snapped. It could have been maybe I had chafed it earlier, but I had to retie it myself. I had to go watch one of Luke's knot videos to figure out how to tie that thing. So I'm gonna go little pinfish here and see what happens.
Yeah.
And you know, the other option that we were thinking about after we got the bait was just hitting up a mangrove line with, you got something bigger? Or you got a big catfish?
It's not big, I can't tell what it is.
Ladyfish?
Lady,
yeah.
Yep.
And that's another great way to do it, but because we had almost kind of a slack tide, we wanted to get, and at least here we have some wind kind of creating its own little movement, as close to this channel as can be. And you can keep that and catch some tarpon on it later. Ooh. Here come the birds.
There we are.
Everyone's like, all right, we got the Chum brothers here, chumming up everywhere.
Yeah, and so as you can see, I mean, this is really the type of fishing to go take something small. That's a giant ladyfish. Just go take a kid.
Dude, I thought I had a monster Spanish mackerel on it first. Oh.
Take somebody young or somebody new to fishing.
Wait, is it?
That's a coot. No, that's a lady. That's
that's just lady. A monster lady. Oh my goodness.
I want to watch out for Cody on that one.
Yeah, watch out.
Oh, we got the anchor line there too, Joe.
Yeah. Maybe old.
Dude.
Well, try to do what's best for our camera guy, and now lost it all on a ladyfish.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about little skiffs with 3 people. Nobody can move too fast, and that ladyfish was faster than Joe getting to the back of the boat. Got around the edge of the boat, and the game over.
But not faster than me getting to the front of the boat. So, you know, I'll take that. Now I got to retie. So you can see where he got me, right there in the braid. So I'm using 10-pound Power Pro, and went, dang, it's irritating to lose it to a ladyfish.
Yeah, and so what I'm doing too, when you're getting into a lot of fish action, even though I know that if I throw a bait out there, I'm gonna hook into something real fast, I'd noticed that my line was getting frayed up, and that's the best way to lose the fish of a lifetime, is to make a cast when your line's frayed up, and then when you hook up to that big one, it's gonna have a better odds of eating through it. So I took the time to retie. Now, again, if I hook into a big tarpon or cobia or whatever, I'll have a much better chance of landing it.
Or a monster ladyfish. That thing was huge. Did you guys see that?
That was a big lady. That was like a 5-pound ladyfish.
I kept thinking, I was like, it's gotta be a Spanish mackerel.
All right. So all we're doing is, one tip too that I mentioned before is when using light baits like this, we're free lining these baits. They're not heavy, right? They're small, and you need to be able to cast them. The further away from the boat you are, the more likely you're going to catch fish. And so what we did is we do 2 things. Number 1 is we use light braid. Joe mentioned before we have 10-pound braid. Yes, that can be a problem if a fish wraps you around the boat, but any line is going to be a problem when a fish wraps around the boat. In open water like this, it is shocking. Oh, let's lost something. But in open water, it is shocking how big of a fish you can catch on this light line. Oops, still having bait. So I've even I landed 50, 60-pound tarpon on 10-pound braid and 2,500 size reel. This light line, this light braid, especially with the good knot, the FG knot, it has a really high breaking strength. I've been testing these out, and the FG knot with the 10-pound braid to a 30-pound leader, the breaking point is a little bit over 20 pounds. That's huge. And that is a lot of pressure to have. Oh, golly, missed another one. That is a lot of pressure to have on a fish. That's more than enough to land a really big fish. So a big misconception is that you have to have 20, 30, 40 pound line to catch a big saltwater fish. You don't. You just have some light stuff and good knots, and that'll take you a long way. And the benefit of the lighter line is that now we can cast our bait fish. We can cast these really light baits. We're still getting some pretty good distance cast with them. Otherwise, you'd have to use a popping cork or something like that to be able to launch the bait. Number 2,
Hey, you have more of those hooks, by the way, too? I'm realizing I am.
No.
You don't?
Number 2 is bring the hooks you need.
You really don't have any?
I don't need the real good ones. I got some eagle claws in there, the bigger ones.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, Cody, you got to go with plan B.
Yeah, number 2 is bring the terminal tackle you need. We weren't planning on doing this, and then the tides were so bad, we said, let's just go out and just do a max fish catching, knowing that it's going to at least get some action. And but number 2, as far as positioning, is that we positioned upwind from the spot that we wanted to fish. So right now, it looks like another catfish. So right now we have, again, this big grass spot. We have the channel just behind, and then we have some potholes within casting distance. So we're just sitting here casting with the wind, with our light braid, and we're able to sling these really small baits a good distance to get a bunch of fish catching action. Again, as we said before, they won't be all trophies, but it's still fun. And again, for a kid, this could be like one of their favorite fishing days ever. Go out there, catch a bunch of fish. It's constant action. They're not going to be playing video games. They're going to be engaged, and they're going to be bragging about how many fish they caught.
And all those big catfish and 5-pound ladyfish. Jeepers. All right, I'm going to go a really small hook here. See what kind of difference it makes.
All right. And if you are taking a kid out, it's smarter to do a circle hook, because that way they don't have to set the hook. They don't have to do anything. They just let the fish start swimming off with the bait, and they'll be hooked properly. The J hooks are better if you're actively fishing. So I'm actively fishing. I've been paying attention. I'm casting out and putting my rod tip down so that the line isn't getting bowed by the wind, and so I can feel exactly when this thing gets hit. And then I'm quick to pull the trigger on it. So I'm not letting that fish just sit there and eat it and swallow it before I set the hook.
Look how small that little guy is.
And we are actively fishing.
See what happens.
So something just bumped it, didn't eat. Oh, I just missed him.
I put an extra amount of saliva on this knot as well. I don't know if you guys heard the podcast that we did.
Did you get a second one out? Oh.
Nope, I didn't know you needed it. We did a podcast whoa, this hook is so small these little guys are falling off of it. On what scents are best to attract and detract fish. And saliva, human saliva, was one of the top ones to attract fish, like a positive, we call smell track. And so Luke, remember you were giving me a hard time about saliva because I was really talking how awesome it was?
Yep.
So the reason was in that Mark Sosin book that I was reading to interview him, he talks about a study they did on oh, I'm on, baby. He talks about a study they did on, please don't be a catfish. Oh my goodness.
Catfish.
On catfish, ironically. And so they did a study on catfish, an underwater study on what they were attracted to, and they did like 15 different things. And they were things that you would think catfish would be attracted to, like liver, chicken liver and stuff like that. And out of everything they tested, whoa, off the side of the boat, human saliva was the number 2 thing that catfish were attracted to. Isn't that wild?
What was number 1?
Some kind of crazy chum they did of just guts and stuff that you would think any fish would be attracted to. I thought that was pretty fascinating. That old saliva wins again. Let's see here.
All right, and so I'm testing my line. Those ladyfish can actually wear through a line pretty well. And so what to look for when you're trying to evaluate whether your line is in need of replacement or not, is if you can start seeing, if you can feel it, this almost feels like sandpaper, that means the outer layer of your line is starting to wear off. Bad news. That's going to really weaken the line. And so it's just smart to go ahead and just totally retie, just keep scissors with me. And fishing like this, it's going to be active. We have to assume that we're going to be doing a lot of knots. So just be ready, because it's worth it. The worst thing possible is for you to hook into a cobia or some awesome fish when doing this, and then the line fails because it wasn't replaced. It just takes
already get this crazy.
Probably 15 seconds. Shows
Well, that's
Doing
bad
some
news
serious
about
hook
this
sets.
small little hook. I got to grip it and rip it. I got to go for it.
All right, Joe's just leaving bait on the deck right here. That's
Oh, I knew I
not
was going to
smart.
need it that quick. Look at that. Thanks, guys. You get to live another day, or at least until some bigger
So
fish
what I like
comes
to
in.
do after this next cast, I'll show you the tides right now. I mean, the tides are really bad tides. This is a time where, you know, most people wouldn't be fishing. For many years, I wouldn't even bothered because I would have been trying to go to my, you know, my redfish spot. Oh, there we are. Oh, I've been trying to go to my normal spots for snook and redfish that are less likely to be eating at this kind of tide. And just when it's bad tides, it's just smart to go just change your game plan, right? Go from a max quality game plan to a max quantity game plan. And this has been the ticket lately. What is that? Big pinfish.
Look at that. It's a half pounder there. Put that on a hamburger, baby. Woo! If we were doing more live bait today, we could save these big old pinfish.
Yeah, big snook would love that one.
AKA Snook Candy. My boy Captain Peter Deeks, he loves when people say that.
All right, I got your bait in there, Joe.
You, Cody. Oh, thanks, Luke. That's what friends are for. If you guys are listening and you can't see, Luke just hooked me up with a bait. Not a big one, but a bait nonetheless. And at this point, it doesn't seem to matter. I mean, I have a hook on here that I would never even turn to, and it's proving that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, these fish are fired up back there. I got one on already.
So how deep is it back there, Luke?
So it's probably about 4 feet where we are now, and then it gets down. Oh, we got a trout here. And the hole gets down. It goes down probably another foot or foot and a half. And so we're talking, you know, 4 to 6 foot range. But most importantly is that, again, this is just the edge of the flat that has the most current exposure, and that's where the fish are. So get some bait, come out here. You can soak them. You can put a bobber on there and watch the cork go down. You can even put a weight on and just let it sit on the bottom. But this free lining is my favorite. Just kind of let it go out there. You can feel the thump, and then go ahead and give a hook set. It has the highest hook set ratio because you don't have the cork or the weight in there impacting the overall power that you have.
And it's fun to feel the fish hit.
Yeah, it's just like artificial where you can feel the thump.
I don't know how people do it with it sitting in the rod holder. To me, that's so boring.
Well, I just got thumped.
Oh, I think we're crossing each other there.
Are you reel yours first? Oh man, I think we are.
Ladyfish attack?
Yeah, we're both lady fished up.
Well, at least this one's not big enough to take drag out and completely break me off.
I've got a big one there. But yeah, I mean, how much fun would a kid have doing this, right? Have a couple kids out, just have a bunch of rods. They can exchange them out when they're after the line's frayed, and they can just be catching fish nonstop. This is a big ladyfish. Not quite as big as that one that broke Joe off, but it's close.
I didn't think we'd be saying that today in a podcast. Good, here you go. Ladyfish that I would be broken off on a grass flat by a ladyfish. Who would have thought?
Joe, where this pliers? Hand them to me. Yeah, always
Yeah,
good.
that's a nice one there, dude.
Always good to have
That's
pliers.
that's a
close
trophy
by.
ladyfish.
Trophy.
I want to get back in those big trout, man. That first one, man, that was solid. I like the big trout. And then as we, I think, started to say, you know, once the tide starts moving and we have a little bit more activity, taking the same kind of bait and throwing it up in the mangroves, doggone, that's a fun way to catch some big snook, redfish, trout, even a stingray if you're real lucky. Being a little sarcastic there. Oh, on again, baby.
Yeah, but this is the type of stuff that you can do. You can go to some area you've never been to before. So this spot that we caught bait, I've never once caught bait before. I've never chummed that up for bait. Is that trout? Sounds
Yeah,
like it.
buddy. Check that out, Cody. Beautiful trout. Not as nice as that first one,
In this
but step in the right direction. It's a whole lot better than a catfish.
in this exact spot, so I've never done this type of fishing here. This is
Buddy. Let's see. he didn't get it too bad. Perfect. It's a nice thing about this small little hook. There we go. Release him back. Tell all your friends to come closer into the boat. We're friendly. We're friendly. What were you saying, Luke, before I rudely interrupted you?
Yeah, I was just saying
everything in here.
that this isn't about having a secret spot and all that stuff. I've never done this here before. I have fished this with artificials a few times, but I've never once just posted up like this. But it was just the right type of spot based on the conditions. That's one thing we preach. If you're new to us, that's the biggest thing we preach. It's not about, oh, I just had a trout right here going after it. Huh. We'll see if it comes up and eats it. Oh, it just smacked it. But this is all about just going to the right type of spot based on the conditions there. Oh, I just missed one.
And you don't have to be a good caster.
And so, like, part of our weekly game plan, so every Friday we do a weekly game plan, and this is exactly what the recommendation was. And obviously it works for artificial lures, but it works just as good with live bait. So, and it's all about the type of spot. Once you're there, it doesn't matter if you're using jigs. We could be catching a ton of fish with slam shadies.
Oh, missed it.
But when you have live bait, it's a whole lot easier because you let the bait do the work. But I'm gonna see if I can catch whatever's right below the boat.
Yeah, I got a hit from a trout right there. I mean, maybe 12 feet behind the boat here. Yeah, something's messing with it right now.
Give him a little freebie.
There we go. Ah, dang it, I missed him. Yeah, their trout are starting to come up.
I'm literally right below the boat.
It's one bad thing about this small little hook. What size hook do you think you have there?
Mine's are size 1s and 2s. That's what I have.
Onesies, twosies?
But for this type of fishing, you don't have to have the perfect bait. It looks like whatever it was took off. Oh well, worth a try. You don't have to have the perfect size hook. Obviously you want, oh, dang it, got hammered. You want to try to match the size of the bait you're using, not the fish you're targeting. It's like another ladyfish.
And some people have asked, about the bait, like getting, whoa, I already lost my bait already, about getting the bait. And that was another thing. We just came out here early as the sun's kind of coming up. And we went to the grass flats and we started looking for some birds and went close to the channel and close to a bridge. And lo and behold, there was little signs of bait. Did a little bit of chumming, what for Luke, 10 minutes max?
It was a little bit slow. Usually it's fast, but today it was 10, 15 minutes because we have no tide.
And then boom, one cast.
One cast was more bait than we could ever use. All right, watch out.
Oh, man. Yeah, grab me one too. I'm just getting destroyed, this little hook. I want to upgrade here in a second. I can't believe I didn't. That's how infrequent we're using live bait, is we don't even have it.
Yeah.
The terminal tackle in our tackle bag, or at least not much of it.
Yeah, that was the first time I've thrown a net out of the boat.
How did it feel, Luke?
In probably 2 or 3 years. Felt good.
It's good. Yeah, that was an absurd amount of bait. It took longer just to try to throw all the bait back to save their lives than it did to make the cast. That was nuts. There's someone else out there behind us, a little pontoon boat, probably gonna do the same thing, if they're wise.
Oh, ladyfish coming.
This is fun, right? I mean, I'm having a doggone blast. It's like, it doesn't sit out there for more than 60 seconds and I'm already getting little thumbs.
Let's take some little mangrove snapper down here.
Wait for that big one.
I'm right down below. Let's see what eats it.
I think I've already, oh yeah, I already lost my bait. Nope, he's still on there.
Oh man.
You saw a snapper?
It looked like it's, yeah, that's a mangrove snapper. Let's see if he'll come up and eat it. He came and popped it a second ago. Just won't eat it.
Yeah, you could probably get, I don't know, 10 species just sitting right here.
Yeah, you can get all sorts of stuff. Because everything's going up and down these channels.
Oh no, feels catty. Dang.
Oh, there we are. Oh, I got a little trout. I was literally just cane pulling it right beneath the boat. End up with the trout. I saw a little snapper down there.
Come on, up off the bottom. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, sail
World
cat.
record.
Sail cat. I knew it'd be a matter of time
I
before
knew
we got
it.
one of those.
Not letting him break me off. Jeez. Luke, you want to show how to release these?
Same premise.
Yeah, why don't you show
Things are
me
beast.
so I don't have to touch this slimy
All
son
right,
of a
as long as-
gun.
I'll do it
Look
since
at
you
the
had-
slime on there, Cody. Can you see that? Dude.
I'll do it since you admitted that you're Nancy.
Oh, complete, on record,
All right.
Nancy boy.
Let me see it. Let me
You
see
get
Rod.
spined one time by a catfish and, you know, kind of messes with you for life. Nightmares about this.
All right, so
My little daughter's like, let's catch some catfish. They think it's cool. Like, no.
so I
Daddy
just let
doesn't
it,
like to touch them.
yeah, I let it kind of tire themselves out a little bit. Less
Look at all the slime on that
less
thing.
flailing they're doing, the better. The rod's safe. Grab the hook, and then grab right underneath there, right?
You could lip that one.
Don't lip them, because when you grab it like this, it cannot hurt you. And I always hold it head up. If it starts flailing, even if I lose my grip, I'm going to be able to hold the fish up by the fact that these big spines, they're super strong. It's just going to be resting on the spines, and the spines can't hurt you unless you hit them from the point. Hit them from the point, it's game over, or you're going to be hating life.
Doctor?
Thank you. But if you hit it on the side, no problem at all, right? I can hit it on the side.
Look at the slime on that.
Yeah, we'll get the.
You guys are wondering why we even went to the length of making a T-shirt that said "No cats on board." That's why. That is just
Slimed
disgusting.
Slimed up. And to release it, just let it go, and you will be off. There, so yeah, you can deal with that slime.
Dang,
Nasty.
that is disgusting. So I wonder how this is going to do in terms of the smell track. If that
don't know.
helps or hurts. It can't help. I mean, disgusting. It won't even come off my leader. I'm just gonna have to.
Your leader won't come off my hand. Stuff's nasty.
I appreciate that, Luke. Taking one for the team, really just for video purposes. Clearly not afraid of catfish. That was all very this is all Hollywood. This is all very scripted. We'll plan this entire day out for weeks. Like, hey, let's not bring any hooks and see what happens. All these things.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put one straight down and see if I can catch that snapper. I got a little pinfish on.
And obviously, if you're an insider member, we're going to go really in depth on not just the exact spot where we were fishing, but the why. And we've talked about it a little bit on here. But if you guys don't know about the Insider Club, doggone, we broke through 14,000 official members from Texas, really up to Carolinas, and it's just men and women who love fishing and appreciate their time and appreciate their money. And here's what I mean by that. On the time, we try to go out there every week ourselves, just like this, and then look at all the trends in our community. We have now, it's like every 10 minutes, there's a new fishing report going live. Yes, every 10 minutes. I mean, it's crazy. And so we're taking all these trends and telling you, hey guys, here's what's happening right now this week, and here's the types of areas you want to fish. And yes, it works in your area regardless of where you are. And so it's all about time saving and then money, right? The other thing that, doggone, it seems like another catfish.
Might be another sail cat there.
The other thing is money. Everyone who fishes is spending money on equipment, on tackle. Oh, dude, that's a nice trout, bro.
It's a trout. Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a stud. Look at that.
Very nice.
Yes, Tampa Bay stud at least. Check that out. Now we're talking.
It's about the size of that first one.
Yeah, that's a nice trout. I was talking about saving money. And so now, because we have 14,000 members and we have a lot of members who are buying a lot of tackle, and the average saltwater angler is spending around $1,600 per year just on tackle and gear. That does not include boat and gas and all the other stuff that comes along with it. Let me get a little picture of this guy for you, Cody, before we release him. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful trout. Look at that bad boy. Yes. Yeah, that's a good looking trout there. So now we have 20% off pretty much everything. Everything you can possibly imagine.
It's really everything you need. It's not everything you imagine. The store is really simplified.
Well said, Luke. Well said.
To the stuff that you need without any fluff, and we don't accept sponsorships from companies. So because we want to be able to give truly unbiased guidance on tackle to get, we're 100% sponsored by our fishing club members, and so after we test the tackle, we then will negotiate on your behalf with the manufacturers to get the best deal out there. And so the fishing club members get significant savings on all the tackle they need to go out there and just have success. There we are.
Yeah, that's really been the thing that separated us from.
Ooh, another nice trout,
dude. From all these other, I don't want to call them buying groups, but just any kind of club or any kind of place where you get discounts, or even a tackle store, is. We want to provide what's working, not just what's available out there. I think so many of these tackle stores, that's a stud, dude.
It's a big trout. This might be bigger than the other one.
Oh, mine's bigger. So many of these tackle stores, like the Bass Pros of the world, I think they're doing a massive disservice by having so much stuff. When 70% of stuff in Bass Pro, you don't need. And I think most of us know that. We found out the hard way. If you look at our garages and
fish,
little tackle stores. Look at a quick pick at you, Luke. There you go. That's a nice trail. But so many of these big tackle stores and I'm talking about the big box retailers. I really do believe they're doing a disservice by just having so much stuff, and it's intimidating for guys like us to go in there. Not intimidating. It's just confusing. I guess is the better word. It's probably super intimidating if you're new to fishing, or if you're a single mom or dad and you're going in there, like, how is there an entire row of just jig heads? Which ones do I really need? And that's what we spend a lot of time doing, testing out ourselves and then providing to our members, right? I mean, how awesome is that to be able to say, hey guys, this is what we're using, this is what we've tested. And you might have seen a lot of our just overall normal reviews on YouTube. Those are nice. I think one of the favorites, Luke, wouldn't you agree, is the comparisons, where we actually will compare
another one, 2
different reels, rods, topwater lures, hooks. To me, that's the game-changing stuff. So it's saving you money by not buying the junk, and then you get 20% off of the best stuff out there. So even as we continue to grow...
Whoa, bird just ate it. Dang.
What? Dude, that was crazy.
Water turkey just tried to eat it.
You see that, Cody?
Dang,
you get on camera?
Yeah, so be careful around those water turkeys. So this one, I really don't like those birds, so I usually don't fling trout, but I just want to get that thing away from that bird. Those birds, once they realize that you're catching fish, they're going to just hang around the boat if you feed them, and that's bad. We just don't want to do that. Even though they're cool to see, it's just not good for the birds. This is not good for anything.
There's that one cormorant. Is it called a cormorant, or what do they call it?
Cormorant.
Cormorant that had a circle hook in its head. He had obviously done something like that, gone a little too close probably to someone's trout, and we were fishing like, what is that? Is that jewelry? And it wasn't jewelry. Dude had a legit circle hook right in the middle of its head. Looked like he had.
Yeah, it's just not good. Not good not good to feed wildlife like that.
Trizzo. Yeah, and those things do not need any help at all. So now we're getting to the school of trout. This is a whole lot better than sail cats, although I'm sure they're still out there. Whoa, there you go. Quick release. And this, my line is getting really close to the point of having to retie. But I'm gonna be completely stubborn and just keep going, since we'll probably be wrapping this podcast up soon. Let's see if we can catch one more nice fish.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the gear, and obviously having the right gear is important, and obviously not overspending on the gear is one thing that will help you with. But I think the biggest problem that I had for many years is that I had all the nice stuff, right? I thought that the tackle I was using was my downfall, why I didn't have the right tackle, so I wasn't catching the fish I wanted to catch. In reality, it was totally wrong. Here's another one. Because it's really all about being at the right spot at the right time. When you do that properly, everything else is easier. And just like you see right here, like we've been anchored in the same spot the whole time.
Get a trout there?
Bird's going after again.
What do you got?
Dad, come.
Oh, pelican coming in, dude. Everything's coming in now. Oh.
And when you get in a good feeding zone, you can catch a ton of fish just like this, even in times where the current is really not that good.
Doubling up on trout. Whoop. Or do you have a trout? Yeah, that's a nice one, dude. All right, guys, let's end it there. I mean, we've been, 30 minutes or so, all completely uncut. Caught, 4 or 5 different species, doubling up on trout now. And this is, once again, something anybody can do. We have a stick-it pin, if you want to show that, Cody, down there. So we don't even have anything fancy. That's like $80 stick-it pin. Didn't have to use our trolling motor today. Obviously, it's down, but you don't have to. We did not have to use it. And we got little dingleberry hooks, nothing fancy, no popping corks, nothing. It went on in a day that, I mean, look, there's not a single boat out here.
And just so they can see, hope they can see, this is the tide chart. And this is right now, I just refreshed it. And we are right at the very bottom of the tide cycle. Even still, we are fishing just a really, really slow point. So let me see if I can do it at a different angle. But you can see, right, the now point, we are like, this is technically the worst possible time to be fishing, but we chose a spot that would still produce in conditions like this, and we're having a lot of fun. And that's really the difference that I finally clicked once I finally started figuring out how to adjust spots based on the tide, based on the wind. That's when it actually started happening, when my results started skyrocketing. That's really what we focus on in the fishing club. By the time you see this is probably 2 weeks past, and for the last 3 weeks, I've been preaching in the weekly game plans that this is what you should do. So Insider members get all this stuff way ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, we give our Insider members stuff real time. So as soon as we get back today, we're going to be on our computers editing this stuff and then even just documenting the report. To me, that's been one of the most valuable things, especially in the summertime, as we have members who are traveling. Maybe not as much as normal with this whole COVID thing, but people still doing traveling and trying out new spots. And now you have a network, just like the professional guides use, and all the pro bass guys, like they rely heavily on their network to be able to go to a brand new spot and say, hey guys, I'm heading here this weekend. What do you guys think? Where have you seen the bait? Right now we can tell them. Our Insider members are going to know by the end of this day exactly where to find the bait. That's, to me, that's priceless. It saves so much time. And we have people, wow, big old lady, doing this from Texas all the way up, really, the Virginia line now, with 14,000 members. So I hope you join us. You can go learn more at saltshore.com. For you current Insider members, I know a ton of you guys listen to the podcast and watch even these free YouTube videos. I mean, you guys know we have 800 private videos, and that doesn't mean you're supposed to watch all of them. They're all designed based on where you are in your fishing journey, because we have a lot of people who are beginners who come in and this is new to them. We have a lot of people who are ex-bass anglers who really want to become amazing saltwater anglers. We have a ton of weekend warriors who just want to save time and money, and we have full-time guides who want to save money on their tackle and just be around like-minded people who are super helpful. So it's been, man, what a fun family is what we like to call it. I hope you would join us. And for you current members, thank you guys. You guys are amazing. We wake up every day just pinching ourselves how excited we are to have customers, and once again we call you guys family members, because that's really what it does feel like. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and close it out. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Otherwise, yeah, if you haven't joined yet, give it a shot. We have a 365-day.
Oh, that's guarantee. Impossible. How can you do that?
Well, it would be longer. That's the longest that our merchant would actually let us do it. But we know you're going to love it. So that's all the risk is on us to provide to fulfill our promises. And again, at some point after a whole year of going through it, if you somehow don't think it was the best investment you've ever made in fishing, let us know and we'll give you a full refund.
Yep.
No questions asked.
I'm going to go back to tying old TH off, tiny hook, see if we can catch some more fish. Maybe we'll go try a new spot and try to do it all over again.
Might as well.
We've got to show our insider something good. Come on, baby. Thank you, guys. We out. Peace.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul. It was pain.